Is there a place where I can actually start to practice and do so together in community with other people and start to embed these principles so that when I'm feeling this way or going through these specific things, there's actually something to catch me, or like I've built architecture in my mind that actually can hold me. Sometimes you can know all of the right things to do, but being in the habit of doing them in and at the times that you actually need to do them, like in the times where you are properly stuck, where you're properly shut down, where you properly feel like, okay, the thoughts are coming in, they're intrusive, I don't know how to solve this from the mind. Maybe you don't even think that. Maybe you just think that the thoughts are real, that the thoughts are believable, that they're something that you need to pay attention to in terms of the narrative of them. This was me yesterday having a bit of a crisis. I want to bring this into awareness as it's happening because it's hard, honestly, and there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of worry and I can feel it in my system, and so I want to describe what that feeling is, work through it in real time, because this is the best time to do this kind of stuff when you're in the middle of it. It feels like high anxiety in the chest, feels like almost like a sickness or a dread or a shutdown in the stomach. I want to bring the power back to myself with this and not be a victim to this state, and not make myself wrong for experiencing being a victim to this state at the same time, which is kind of what it feels like. It feels like helplessness, which is often what shutdown feels like. It's often what freeze feels like at the same time. There are some basic things that can be done to start to connect. Oh, even as I'm talking about it, and start to feel that relax. So if you notice this, what I'm doing here is like I'm staying beneath the stories of the mind, right? Because the stories are where you're going to get lost. Like you're going to start believing the thoughts, and really the thoughts are there to try to structure and make sense of your experience. But when you're in a shutdown state like this, what you actually need is to just have the experience on its own from the perspective of it just being sensations. If you start to get lost in the stories, like the way that your brain is going to construct stories about it, like it's not objective, it's not as objective as you would like it to be. So we try to keep it very much in the sensation, the actual experience, rather than going up to the mind to try to understand what does it mean, what kind of a person does it make me. And this is where a lot of people get quite lost with this. Maybe you can see in the video there, it's like I know what I want to bring into that space. I know how I want to start to restructure the energy as it's deconstructing or decomposing within me. It's like the ability to have meltdowns and to understand what's happening without buying into judgment, even though I might be experiencing judgment in the mind. It's like I'm tending to it in a way that is open but clear but firm but soft, but all of these things, like this kind of this mixed polarity of different things. And I'm training these parts of my brain to sit with the discomfort and to feel it and to expand down into it and not push it away. I recognize it as something valuable, as something useful. And that's a skill. Like if you notice that, that's a skill. That's a part of your brain that you can train, that you can start to bring online and start to link together with these particular types of experiences, like the shutdown experience or the high anger or high anxiety, things like that. Whenever you feel this kind of intensity, this is like potential energy. So whenever you're in that kind of shutdown state, it's like there's a lot of information in that state. And as you slow things down and you start to pace your breathing, you slow things down by becoming more embodied, like co-regulate as we'll do in a group, or these tools and ways that you can do this for yourself as well. You start to bring a little bit more softness to the situation, start to bring online that part of your brain that can engage with what you're experiencing in a softer way. That's how you actually start to connect with and unpack the information from the state. And when you start to unpack the information from the state, you expand down into that place. Then you free up a load, like you free up a bunch of tension that's been maybe held in your system for a long time. and you recalibrate to the here and now, rather than letting this tension, which was established back when you were 5 years old and has been holding thought, structure, and then behavioral adaptation, all of that can start to fall away. So that's really what we're talking about with integration. It's like the liberation of stuck energy, stuck tension in the body, and the collapse of the polarity in the mind. You might say like a commitment that's been pulling you one direction, and then another commitment that's kind of pulling you in another direction. When that comes together and collapses, there's like a kind of a psychological insight that's often buried or nestled inside of the state. Then there's a whole bunch of energy that can work in alignment with where it is that you're looking to go now. It feels like that's been something that's been very relevant recently, and it feels like that the calling has been to a deeper level of, sounds cliche, but like authenticity. The things that I'm doing, the coaching, the tapping, the breath work, these things, while they are great and they've been like amazing tools for me, there's a deeper calling. Like there's something that wants to be integrated into what I'm doing. You get into certain routines, you get into certain habits, and you just get stuck. Like it takes on its own momentum, and its momentum carries forward in a really strong way, and then it starts to build systems, and then those systems keep you stable in that momentum, and that can be really, really tricky. Sometimes you need like a kind of an outside event to come and rupture all of that, so then it starts to break down, and it's like, oh shit, what have I been doing this whole time? I need to reevaluate. I need to like bring this other part of myself into the fold as well, so I can draw from the resources from it. So we're going to do this event. We've got a 7-week container for it. It's going to be one main event on the 3rd of May, and then we're looking at integrating these tools into daily life. So if there's like a sense of stuckness, a sense of feeling blocked, like a sense that, okay, I'm just not getting it, I'm not like that thing, that deeper part of me, there's tension and it's all held somewhere in the body. And I've really found you can't really do this without the body. I don't think you can do it without the mind either, but a lot of our culture has tended to focus on top-down modalities for this kind of thing. But if you're not in touch with the alive thing that's underneath all of that, trying to push through, then you're not flowing and folding and unfolding with that process of life. So you start to feel the numbness that is so pervasive in the culture, and you know, maybe there's parts of you that just feel stuck, or there's like parts of you that feel a bit empty. It's like you've achieved some things that look good on the surface, and I know I've definitely been there myself, and it's like, yeah, but I'm not here. Like, where's the gap? Where's the bit in the middle that where it all should be happening? It's not there. I say it's a journey, but it's more like a dance. It's more like a song, like a rhythm that you tune yourself to. You know, tuning, choosing, starting to explore the different parts of you and integrate them so you can pull them together, and then you're all pulling in the same direction. It needs to be beneath the mind. Like, it needs to involve the mind and use the mind, but it needs to be something with a bit more depth, just to anchor you. Because if you're not anchored, imagine if you're just floating around on the surface and the waves are hitting you all the time, and it's like, no, I need to go down to the body to find reality as it's happening, as it's experiencing, without my mind mouthing off about what it should be doing. Because, you know, minds like to do that. Mine does. I don't know. Does yours? Maybe. If it does, then you probably want this thing. So anyway, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a one-day event on the 3rd of May. There's going to be 6 sessions to go along with that. Online sessions. There'll be online material. You'll have access to a lot of resources, so you can build a self-practice around this. You've got ideas of how to do it in community with others as well, just so you can start to get some things moving in your system. That's the idea. If it's useful to you, if you think any of what I've talked about could be useful to you, then you can go and click the link in the bio. I look forward to seeing you in the group. All right.